This isn't a tutorial or a lesson. It's an invitation to sit with uncertainty, frustration, and decision making while I work in my pieces. So, welcome to my studio. This video shows part of my drawing process doing a live model session. I am just getting ready here, setting up my materials, paper, and my cameras. This session starts usually with some quick poses. Each drawing in the beginning is about 1 minute, and I usually begin by capturing a few lines with charcoal and moving through the pages very quickly without trying to give a lot of detail, also because I don't have time for that. So usually it is very fast paced during this beginning, but it's also the time to loosen up and to try things that I normally wouldn't try if I had more time to do a drawing of a figure. So here is all about exploring these harsh lines, trying to find some new shapes of the body. After these drawings with charcoal, the poses become longer. These ones in specific here are about 2 minutes each. And this is where I start introducing collages alongside with the charcoal. Sometimes adding some permanent ink or acrylic paint with it too. So usually I work by breaking and rearranging parts of the body as the way of seeing it more clearly. I'm not idealizing it, but I stay what I feel it's still unresolved. Or maybe I just don't feel like it's interesting. In this one specifically, I even drew over the other sketch because I wasn't happy with the pose before. And in this one in particular, when I grabbed my scissors and I was trying to find that harsh shape, I end up having this like almost head over her head, a yellow head or something that I really thought it was really fun. In this next one, I actually had a little bit more time. I think it was around 5 minutes of this one. And in this drawing, something really shifts. So I start with a sketch where the figure becomes very, very elongated. And I feel like I almost stretch it too far, but at first I don't see exactly that as a problem. Because I'm also during these sessions not measuring or planning proportions or anything like that from the beginning. So I only understand what's wrong or if I felt like something is wrong once the drawing is already there. So I need some time. And after the accumulation of strokes and cuts and papers and ink, sometimes I'm able to see it. And here I'm just finishing a few cuts. As you can see, I'm just taking more and more paper as I go with it. I go with this and I try to even continue the sketch as well. And I end up just really almost cutting the figure in half and just gluing it down. Almost like a medical procedure. These poses at the end, these 3 poses were actually longer. This one starts with 10 minutes and the other ones were 15 minutes. The 2 after this one. Cutting the drawing, literally removing parts of it, is what makes it work. The collage helps me compress the body and adjust the proportions and make sense of the figure as a whole. It's about letting the drawing show me what it needs, even if that means destroying parts of it to understand it better. So here in these last ones, the pace really slows down and the color starts to take more space. I introduce red. I almost feel like it was too vibrant, and I let it stay very present in contrast with other tones that are not as vibrant. and it starts to interfere with the structure and composition of the drawing. So it becomes almost as a construction tool. It breaks the body apart, flattens some areas, exaggerates others, and connects pieces that initially don't belong together. The figure stops being built only by lines and starts being built by contrast, weight, and intensity. Francis Bacon once said that he wanted to trap the fact alive. I think about that a lot while working. I try not to just illustrate the body, but catching something more that becomes more of a feeling or something that I can connect with the colors. In this case, even trying to find some details, even of some of the spaces of the room that I noticed. But overall, these drawings are not really about the anatomy, even though I tried to stay close with a close relation to its proportions. But definitely, the gesture sketches in the beginning are very important. They are the bridge of the starting point and then what incentivizes me to explore how can I stretch the body even more and make it more interesting to almost fit into a more simple shape. Sometimes inside of a box of some sort, or the harsh lines and shapes of a triangle. They're about the tension between control and accident, construction and collapse. Sometimes the drawing only starts to make sense when it becomes uncomfortable for me, in some sense, whatever that can mean. I feel like some sense of frustration of not initially be able to achieve the proportion right away is also what triggers me to continue and try harder and make it more sense of what I am seeing and trying to portray. So I really rather stay with it and see what else can be there to discover, what else can I add in this piece to make it more understandable in a sense. I really like to play with the emotional side of it as well. If I feel like I want to really exaggerate something with some color or whatever I feel that makes sense at the moment. And this is really it. Thank you so much for watching the video. I'll see you around.